Welcome to SIC's Active Steering System Setup Guide. In order to set up your active steering system, you will need to have the following tools on hand: 2 sawhorses, a pair of blunt tip scissors, a number 3 Phillips head screwdriver, a wire cutter of good quality, a small flathead screwdriver, and a number 3 metric Allen wrench. Use 2 people to unpack the board with one of the rails on the ground. One will hold the box while the other pulls the board out. Once out of the box, use the blunt tip scissors to remove the protective bubble wrap. Upon opening the box, you will find inside an SIC board, 2 irrigation tubes, 2 big gray washers, 1 rudder with carbon fin on post, 2 threaded cable rods with 3 holes, 2 knurled adjustment nuts, 1 carbon tiller patch, 4 lock nut washers, 1 cable pinch washer, 1 post screw with black plastic knurled head, 3 white nylon tiller height adjustment washers, 1 tiller pivot screw, 1 batten bracket, 2 hold down bracket screws, 1 lock off plate, 6 lock off plate screws including 2 self-tapping screws and 4 threaded machine screws, 4 split washers, 1 white pulley, and a tiller with a telescopic adjuster and a fiberglass batten. Note: wait to mount the carbon tiller patch and leave the cable in both sides of the board until you have determined the customer's stance and a final sale has been made. Insert rudder into sleeve. Place the 3 white nylon washers onto the steel post on the deck side. Mount pulley onto steel post with flat side facing forward. Screw in post screw with cable pinch washer halfway into pulley. Note: if necessary, remove a washer to adjust rudder distance to bottom of board to 1/16 of an inch. Wrap cable around pulley twice. Once under the screw-in washer, once over the screw-in washer. By tightening the post screw, the cable will get pinched by the washer. Do not completely tighten at this point. Even out both ends of the cable to where equal lengths are left to work with by the tiller area. Push silicone rubber on tip of fiberglass batten. Put the gray washers on first, then screw tiller into deck with Phillips head screw. Note: tighten lightly. The 2 gray washers raise the tiller to promote near friction-free movement. Screw down batten bracket to deck. Tighten lightly. Check for friction-free movement of tiller. Feed cable through irrigation tubes. Screw knurled adjustment nut onto threaded cable rod. Give it about 3 turns initially. Remove tape from steel cable tip. Feed cable through the 3 holes of the rod. The closest hole first, then the center hole, and after the last hole is fed through, tighten the cable as much as possible and feed the leftover cable through the loop created between hole 1 and 2. Repeat this step for the other cable side. Cut the cable half the length of the irrigation tube so that the cable is buried. Feed the leftover cable back through the irrigation tubes. At this stage, coarse rudder adjustment can still be done when screw is not fully tightened and thus cable is not pinched. The steel cable will slide freely around plastic pulley. Note: cable tension should be snug but not too tight. You should have 1/2 inch total play side to side. Fine rudder adjustment is done from the front with the knurled adjustment nuts by the tiller area. Tightly secure the post screw by hand to pinch down cables. The cables should fall into the deeper routed section. Note: the cables should fall parallel behind the post screw and not around it. Turn board bottom up. Center the rudder with knurled nuts. Occasionally jiggle tiller to check neutral return. Mount the carbon tiller patch only once you have determined the purchasing customer's stance. Slide telescopic adjuster forward. Place carbon tiller plate 1 inch distance under tiller. When position is established, peel 3M adhesive backing off plate. If steering disengagement is desired, then install the lock-off plate. Use the number 3 Phillips head screwdriver to secure the 2 short self-tapping screws into the rear insert. Using the 3mm Allen key, screw the 4 threaded machine screws with split washers into the pulley. If the steering system needs to be engaged again, only the 4 threaded machine screws that go into the pulley need to be removed. Note: leave the cable in both sides of the board until final purchase has been made. Only then the other cable side can be pulled out. Now that you have completed rigging your SIC active steering system, get out on the water and find your glide.